Howdy folks, and welcome to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. Are you all looking forward to some rip-roaring, pulse-pounding tank-on-tank action? I sincerely hope not, because there's not going to be too much of that around here today, for this is a Doom Turtle video. Driving the Doom Turtle for us today, or T95 as it's more properly known, is Niggle Tanker. Yes, the T95, everybody's favourite slow, heavily armoured Tier 9 tank destroyer that isn't the Tortoise. Although there are those who say that the T95 is the original and still the best. But they only say that because they haven't played the Tortoise. But who remembers the T95 video that started it all? I imagine probably most of you, because I've just had a quick look and it's sitting at 831,000 views. 5 years ago, almost to the very month. Quickie Baby revealed to the world Boba Dog in the T95, announcing that he was the best scout in all of World of Tanks, and just drove his T95 straight across the middle of the field at Malinovka. Naturally, the enemy team saw him coming and all started shooting at him, and when I say all of them, I really do mean all of them. By the end of the battle, which he survived, he'd taken 95 hits, bounced 32,830 points of damage, done 4,478 damage by himself, and also spotted targets leading to an additional 9,717 spotting damage. Turns out T95 is the best scout on Malinovka, or at least it was in 2013. It's fair to say the game has moved on significantly since then. For one thing, you no longer have to actually put your hand in your pocket to buy gold ammunition. And even without it, there are now plenty of guns likely to be shooting back at you from the direction of the enemy team that are entirely capable of beating the T95's armour. 2 years ago I saw a video of somebody attempting to repeat the T95's escapades on Malinovka, and let's just say he got no further than about 20 metres past the bushes from the start line before he lost 80% of his health and had managed to collect enough gold in the process to bail out the Greek national economy. So yeah, it's not the same game that it was in 2013. I believe the technical term is power creep. These days you're more likely to find the T95 in, let's admit it, fairly obvious sniping positions like this, shedding a nostalgic tear and happy to tell anybody around them about the days when they used to lead the charge, rather than sitting on rather obvious hilltops like this. Usually, although not today, fighting for elbow room on these hilltops with the top tier heavies on the team, driven by people with win rates of below 45% who genuinely believe that win rate is nothing but luck. And I know, all of you Russian heavy tank drivers right now are looking around nervously at your wee body pillows and saying, honey, I have no idea what this guy's talking about. I think he's Satan. Yeah, but guys, you all know what I'm talking about. Well, it's been a fairly quiet game so far, with the only casualty being a Batchat who thought he could sneak his way around the eastern flank, and was wrong. But Niggle's got an Object 430U in the open and is about to fire his first shot. And while you could be forgiven for thinking that a 155mm shell hitting the top of an Object 430U's turret might overmatch clean through it, but you, my friend, would be wrong. Can the Object 430U pull back fire on the move and snipe the lower glacis? Of course he can. 0.4 accuracy, on the move, with the turret rotating. Bullseye. And of course he started the game loaded with gold ammunition, because hey, when you're a top tier Russian tank, 252mm of penetration might just not be enough. Casualties are mounting, as is Niggle Tanker's patience, but well, what alternative does he really have? This isn't 2013 anymore. The spot that he's in is a fairly notorious sniping position on this map, and he has been spotted up here. And it's a well-known fact that if you are in a large, very slow tank destroyer on the Ghost Town map and you elect to occupy this position, while the teams are loading in at the start screen, you are required to send a telegram to the enemy artillery notifying them of your location. And in fact, the only surprising thing that's happened so far is that artillery haven't already started shooting at him. Although perhaps it's not that surprising. I mean, the artillery players on the enemy team will have certainly received the telegram by now, but it may still take them a minute or two to find somebody who's actually capable of reading it for them. Oh man, I can see the comments now. Today's episode of World Attacks with all the added extra salt at no expense. Hey, it looks like Niggle has found something to actually shoot at. If he could just persuade that mouse to fall back and coax those enemy tanks around the corner, and the mouse is listening. Good stuff. Now, come on. Who's feeling brave? Anybody? No, mouse, no, don't, no. You keep, look. Every time you go around the corner, you lose health. Pull back and let Daddy T95 do the job. Oh, you have got to be kidding. Actually, does anybody else find it ironic that Niggle has fired nothing but gold in this match and has failed to penetrate anything as well? Jesus. 323mm of penetration. Oh, finally. Thing is, he only started this match with 5 rounds of gold. And he's only got 1 left. Oh, hang on a minute, there's a bobject down there. That's it. Abandoned game. The mouse is doomed. Oh, what? Well, he's fired all of his skill. From here on in, it's regular armor piercing. You know, which only has 276mm of penetration. I guess it's just going to have to do. Although, you know, let's be honest here, that is a bobject. I mean, even the gold with 320mm of pen probably wouldn't be enough if that thing comes at you from the front. But then, in a stunning display of pants on head, the bobject gives him the side to shoot at, so hell, I'll take it. Although I am starting to wonder about the enemy artillery. I mean, at some point they're going to have to start shooting at Niggle, based purely on the fact that they're running out of other things to shoot at. Although, right now, this Progetto 65 is of slightly more pressing concern for Niggle. And, ooh, nice hit, and an engine fire. And is he going to burn to death? No, he eventually found his fire extinguisher. Meanwhile, the bobject appears to have gone AFK with his finger on the S key. Oh, and it looks like artillery found somebody who was willing to read the telegram for them. But it's Auric Goldfinger in the Object 430U who is continuing to be a slightly more significant problem. After taking only 2 hits from a medium tank, he's down to half health. He's one of only 5 tanks surviving on his team, and he's facing 9 enemies. 2 of whom are artillery, and they all know exactly where he is. Now at this point, the AMX 1390, who's done pretty well and has 2 kills under his belt, is moving up to a line of bushes just there on that ridge, from which he's going to better be able to spot the cluster of enemy tanks in the town there. Ooh, slight replay camera bug. And I think it's fairly safe to say that up until this point, the only reason that Niggle Tanker has avoided the tender mercies of the enemy artillery is because they've had other tanks to shoot at that they can actually see. But with everybody dug in and the AMX 1390 spotting, leading to a couple of kills being pulled back for the team, the whole having other things visible to shoot at, like that E100 down there, and another shot bounces. I think that one just skipped right off the top of his upper glacis as he pulled back. But as far as the enemy artillery are concerned, they no longer have any visible targets to shoot at. So, what could they possibly be doing? Damn, the enemy team have all disappeared. The guys in the town won't go forward and spot because they're getting shot at. What are we supposed to do to occupy our right hand while we wait for targets to become visible? It's only a matter of time before artillery starts lobbing speculative shots at this relatively narrow spot with this relatively large tank destroyer hidden in it that is known to be in this position. But just before the enemy artillery can satisfy their idle curiosity, the WZ-111-5A, who's worked his way up the flank and sent the Progetto 65 scurrying, with only 67 health remaining, has found some targets for enemy artillery to actually shoot at. This prompts the E100 to take his brave pills and go for it, which is remarkably brave of him considering the team do still have an M53 artillery. And he's clearly having second thoughts about it because he only has 200 health left, but well, artillery manages to hit him on the most heavily armoured part of the tank and he survives. And there's the Object 430U, which is extremely bad news for the AMX. But it's not great news for the Object 430 either. Obviously spotted, Niggle starts wiggling the tank and pulling back in order to deny The E100 has shot at his lower glacis, and you may be thinking an E100 could never pull off that shot, but well, an Object 430U shouldn't have been able to do it either. He takes a hit from the E100, which is pretty good when you consider that it was almost certainly a blind shot, but it's just high explosive, and this is a very heavily armoured tank. He did manage to get a shot into the WZ-111-5A, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough, and there's now just 2 of them left, and remember that Progetto 65 only has 67 health left. Despite that, the Progetto has managed to finish off the WZ-111-5A, which just leaves an Object 705 on that flank. And with only 67 health remaining, the Progetto was understandably not anxious to go looking for him. Oh, and it looks like enemy artillery have finally found somebody to read that telegram for them. They've started delivering high explosive to Niggle Tanker's position. Don't forget, the E100 is still out there, although with only 122 health remaining of his own, he's probably not too keen to try pushing his luck either. Even though the AMX is dead and can't spot him, the artillery's dead and can't shoot him, but Niggle is still up here. Which means it must be about time for enemy artillery to satisfy that itch they've been waiting to scratch, and they have now just confirmed that Niggle is in fact still in the same location, and there's the E100. But he clearly knows he's been spotted, and he's angling well enough that the armour piercing would not be a guaranteed kill, so Niggle starts reloading the high explosive, as the other enemy artillery chances a shot at his location. The Object 705 just got spotted moving up on the Progetto. They must be both sweating bullets. He's managed to get the E100, and he did it from far enough behind the bushes that he was able to do it without being spotted. Informs the Progetto that he is reloading, 12 seconds left. Realises he's reloading the high explosive, starts reloading the armour piercing, tells the Progetto don't go, oh too late, he's committed. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Another direct hit from the artillery, another successful blind shot, but well, when you think about it, there's not a lot of space up here for artillery to hit anything but a T-95. The Progetto is kind of committed here. But as long as he sticks to the low ground, he should be able to work his way around to the rear of the 705 without being spotted. Just in case, however, Niggle relocates to here. Oh, the Progetto's only gone and done it. And he's got him! Niggle starts shouting some entirely unnecessary advice to the Progetto. Go, 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 go. Don't stop moving. Although, given that both artillery are almost certainly focused... okay, not both of them. One of them was actually covering the 705. And they've killed the hero, Progetto. Well, shit. So... with just over 2 minutes of this game, and just over 200 health on his tank remaining, if Niggle wants to win, he now has to either drive across the entire map and cap in a T-95. And if it were even possible for him to get there in the 2 minutes that's remaining, and it isn't, he'd be in a T-95 with just over 200 health, with 2 enemy artillery, dropping bombs into the cap circle with him. Failing that, he has to hunt down and kill the 2 remaining enemy artillery in a T-95. Doubtless right now he's thinking, why me? Why couldn't it have been the Progetto 65? He would probably gladly have swapped places with him. But, well, you picks your tank, you takes your chance. If you can't take a joke, you shouldn't be in the Doom Turtle. Remember, this isn't 2013 anymore. And then, against all of the odds, the M53 actually comes looking for him. And in another extremely unlikely turn of events, Niggle didn't get spotted while shooting at him. Which is no doubt extremely upsetting for the surviving 212A player, who was no doubt looking forward to taking advantage of his teammates' we'll call it sacrifice, in order to drop the game-winning shot on top of Niggle Tanker when he revealed his position by firing. So, amusing, but not much consolation to Niggle Tanker, because now he has precisely 29 seconds to find and kill the 212A. Assuming the 212A doesn't see him first, which, let's face it, is likely. 20 seconds. It's not likely, is it? I mean, at this point he'd need a miracle to win. I guess it's true what they say. God is on the side of the big guns. And on that extremely unlikely bombshell, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.